West Virginia has added 2 more commitments to the 2026 class, both of these coming on the defensive side. Let's talk about them. What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Welcome back into the Country Roads webcast. Here today to talk about a 2026 recruiting class update, as West Virginia has picked up 2 more commits to add to that class, which brings the total to 6 names now. The first 4 were all on the offensive side, but now we have a couple of defensive players to talk about as the Mountaineers get 2 of those in one day today, both coming in the secondary. Moving forward, we will talk about both of those guys, those being Taj Pal and Emory Snyder. Before we get into that, though, if you guys would just do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button on the video. Giving this video a like will really help it hit that crazy YouTube algorithm, help it find more Mountaineer fans like yourself. And if you are one of those that likes to stay up to date on recruiting and on the roster at WVU football, we will keep you up to date with that here on the CRW, so be sure hit that subscribe button as well. Throw your thoughts in the comments on either of these 2 prospects or how you feel the 2026 class is shaping up in general. With no further ado, let's take a look here. All right, so first up, we'll talk about the most recent of the 2 commits, that being Taj Pal. I've already covered Emory Snyder previously on a live stream on the channel I did earlier today, actually, but wanted to come update with Powell's commitment, and then I figured I may as well throw a little Emory Snyder talk in here as well for a pre-recorded video. But Taj Pal, 6'3", 195-pound safety, out of the state of Ohio, West Virginia's second commit out of Ohio in this class. We'll show more on that when we pull up the transfer portal tracker momentarily. But lengthy, which both of these guys have great length here. 6'3", 195. He's listed on Rivals. I believe he's 6'3", 205, listed on 247. 247 yet to provide him with a grade, though. Rivals does have him as a 3-star with a 5.5 rating. West Virginia and Kentucky were kind of the 2 schools that were competing for his services. Of course, announced his commitment to WVU earlier today, and funny enough, there is a bit of a tie here, as his brother, Jonathan Powell, of course, played on the basketball team last season, has since transferred out, going to UNC, but I'm sure he spoke highly of Morgantown and was a selling point there for Taj Pal to commit to the Mountaineers. And Henry Weinreich, the Nichols/Sam's coach, was the lead recruiter here for Powell, as he was for Snyder, who we'll talk about momentarily. I think both of these guys have long athletic frames with the 6'3" height you see here for Taj Pal, but I think there's a little bit of a difference in their game. Both of them can play well in the secondary, but I think I see Powell as more of a player that'll probably play in the box once he gets to college and goes through, the training program there with Mike Joseph, gets into the strength and conditioning program at WVU. He really plays the run well, and I think that he has kind of a nose for the football, so I could see him more in the box versus when we talk about Snyder, you'll see he kind of excels more in coverage. So similar players playing a similar position, but a little bit of a difference to their game, as I think Powell's more better close to the line of scrimmage, and then Snyder's a little bit better in coverage. But let me quit yapping about him. Let me show you a couple of highlights of Powell so you see what I'm talking about here, and I'll link this full video in the description. All right, so here is Taj Pal. There you see him circled on this one. And here you do see he can make plays in coverage as well. Right there undercutting that pass and getting the interception. But on these next couple of plays, you're going to see what I'm talking about with, look at that great closing speed to come in there and get that sack coming off the edge. And then watch right here as he contains the edge on this run and stops this runner dead in his tracks here as they attempt a jet sweep. And he forces a TFL on that right there. So that's what I'm talking about when I see him having a nose for the football, being really good close to the line of scrimmage, great closing speed, great burst. I think that he could certainly fit in that Sam role at WVU. When they go to that type of package, I think he could fit in right there in a box type role throughout his career once he develops, but do like the addition of Taj Pal. So there's a little bit on him. Now let's talk a little bit about Emory Snyder. All right, so Emory Snyder committed actually earlier in the day than Taj Pal, but look at that frame for a corner, especially coming in as a freshman. 6'4", 205 pounds. He was also recruited by Henry Weinreich, so he is the Nichols coach, so could they be looking at him for that role? I think that the good side here about Emory Snyder is he is a guy with that great length, but he also has really good speed to go with it, so he's very versatile to where you could play him in the secondary. He could end up playing corner. He could end up playing safety. He could end up playing right there in the slot at that nickel position. We'll see how it ends up throughout his career, but I think this is definitely a plus addition that has a really high ceiling because of the way that he plays, and you see that here with a lot of the schools that were after him. Also not yet to be rated on 247, but Rivals rates him as a 3-star, 5.5 grade as well. Oklahoma State had gotten in on him. Of course, West Virginia, and then they were battling some other schools here, as you'll see here on the list there. North Texas, Tulsa, UTSA, Washington State, just to name a few there. Coastal Carolina that popped up, but of course elects to commit to the Mountaineers, the first commit in this class from the state of Oklahoma, and I think you'll be really impressed with some of his coverage skills here when you see him on tape. Let's take a look at a few plays from his huddle. So there you see the stats. Those are impressive enough. 6 interceptions, very good in a high school season, and 14 pass breakups to go along with it. You're going to see a couple of plays on those here. Watch this one. First of all, a great break on that drag route when it looked like they were going to go that way. Then the quarterback scrambles out. He follows the receiver and goes up and grabs the football with one hand. Great ball skills here on Emory Snyder. You'll see throughout the couple plays we'll show here from his huddle tape. Like I said, I'll link it in the description. But watch him here matched up on the outside now. Here they come trying to attack him deep. And look at him go up over the top, high point the football, and actually moss the receiver as the cornerback there. Great play. Here he is again. This time you see him playing deep, and watch this. Bam. Look at that dive right there. They try to attack him deep. He undercuts it, dive, and intercepts the football. And there's one good one there. Breaking on a slant. You can see a little bit of his hard-hitting ability as well. Not only good in coverage, but very physical with that 6'4" frame. So I think you've seen it all there on those few plays that I showed you. The great coverage skills, the great ball skills to be able to, high point the football at one point, dive and get the football at one point. Both of those are also attributed to his 6'4" frame, but he'll come up and he'll lay the lumber when he needs to there, as you saw in that last highlight there of the slant pass. So really excited about the addition of Emory Snyder. With that being said, let's pull up our commitment tracker and take a look at this 2026 class as it stands currently. And so there you have the 2 latest additions, Emory Snyder and Taj Pal, finally giving the Mountaineers some defensive flavor to that 2026 class, as the first 4 commits were all on the offensive side. Of course, we have videos out on each one of these prospects if you want to go back through our recruiting playlist and find out about each one of them. But super excited about the way this class is shaping up already, and excited to get some additions on the defensive side now with Snyder and Powell coming in as they join Sam Hamilton, the tight end from Ohio, Jafar G. Noel, the wide receiver from Florida, Jet Walker, the running back from Texas, and quarterback Jaron Hughley from Florida as well. So you now have 2 players from Ohio, 2 from Florida, 1 from Texas, and 1 from Oklahoma here in these first few commits in this 2026 class, which I think will shape up to be a really good one for the Mountaineers. But that's just my opinion. I would love to hear yours. Drop it down in the comments, whether it be on either of these 2 prospects that committed to the Mountaineers today or the entire class in general. Always appreciate those interactions as we continue to try and grow the CRW community throughout Mountaineer Nation. And an easy way you can help us do that is just by hitting the thumbs up button on this video, helping us out with that YouTube algorithm, and being sure you've got that subscribe button clicked as well so you can stay up to date on this recruiting class as it continues to build, and of course everything else going on throughout the offseason of both WVU football and WVU basketball. We'll be keeping you up to date on here on the Country Roads webcast. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.